distance. You remember when they had the All-Star game here in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa was really launching some balls, and I said it wouldn't surprise me if he could hit it through, because they had the opening, the panels that are in the outfield. I said it wouldn't surprise me if he could hit it completely out of the park, and past those panels and everything, and he did.
He did, yes.
Got one out of there, albeit it's a great ballpark to hit home runs in, but, I mean, you're generating most of the power to get it out of that park. Now, when you were at Pac Bell Park in the home run hitting contest, the perception is, I mean, people look and they say, well, center field is only $3.99, which on average is probably one of the shorter center fields, but it plays like a much bigger ballpark because of the wind. So $3.99 might not seem far, but you really got to hit it a ton if you want to get it out of there. And if you saw Prince Fielder, like the first home run or two that he hit, and went to center field, they were not over the wall by a whole lot, maybe 10 or 15 feet. Okay, so he probably hit the ball, about 410 to 415. But in that park, that's a very good shot.
Yeah, speaking of Fielder, his dad, I don't know if he's the only one, but I know he hit one out of Old County Stadium.
Yeah, I remember when he hit it completely into the parking lot.
Yeah, into the parking lot.
But that's again, even if the ball back then was junk, compared to what you're playing with today, a little softer, not as tightly wound or whatnot. A guy's throwing it in there at 80, 85, and I mean, a fastball's coming right in your zone, and you just let her rip. You're going to get some distance out of that, regardless of what the ball and the bat are made out of. So, back then, I mean, you're talking, that guy was huge. I mean, Cecil Fielder was just a humongous guy. They almost had to redo the dugouts at Tiger Field because he couldn't even get in it. But, that's a shot by any stretch. And, I mean, there's been some monstrous home runs, regardless of what you do in baseball. But, again, home run hitting contest is all about, it's mostly about you. And if you look at these guys, big, strong forearms, and strong shoulders, and they can really get the bat through the zone.
Well, the one guy that's really impressive is Ken Griffey Jr., because he's not very big, and his swing.
Right, and a lot of that, look at his swing, though, again, like I told you, it's a high, he starts high and he finishes high, and it's a very, almost like a golf swing. But he gets the head of the bat on the ball, and he really turns his wrist over to get it through the zone. So that's where he generates his power. It's all in the wrist and the way he torques his body. And, the elliptical style of his swing. So he'll hit a lot of home runs if you pitch him inside and low.
Yeah, well, one thing, Andy, you can probably fill me in a little bit about the good ball players. They can see the spin of the ball as it's coming in.
Right. Well, what you typically want to do when you're playing is you want to find the pitcher's release point. Okay. And that's where you want to focus your eyes on. Where does he release the ball? Does it come out from behind his ear? Is he way over the top? So you need to look up over the up over the crown of his cap. Is he a side armor? So you're going to look around, between the shoulder and the elbow. And if you train yourself to look in that area and see the way the ball comes out of his hand, because that's your focus, you'll pick up the spin or any rotation on the ball from that area. Too many guys just wait until the ball is released and then try to pick it up. Well, it's too late by then. That's what I always try to tell the people that I play ball with. Is I was taught way back in the day by my little league coach. You want to find his release point, and that's where you want to focus, because that's where the ball's coming out. And the sooner you pick up the spin, the faster you'll become a better hitter.
Yeah, speaking of baseball, to me, of all the sports, I think baseball is the hardest.
It's difficult in the fact that it's a hand-eye coordination thing.
Yeah.
It's everything is difficult, I mean, you put one against the other. What's harder, to play quarterback in the NFL, or to hit a baseball, or to grab rebounds, in the NBA. But as far as a pure skill, it is one of the more difficult skills to actually achieve. I mean, look at baseball now. How many hitters do you have in the major leagues that just can't seem to get above 250?
Right.
There's a lot of them.
And hit the curveball.
Right, but they're also making $1 million, so what does that tell you?
But, yeah, the skill level, to stand in there, 95 miles an hour. Or, I couldn't believe last year during the World Series, those Detroit pitchers, that one guy got up to 103.
Yeah, Joel Zumaya.
Holy man.
Right, and I mean, that's really clipping, but, again, if there's no movement on that pitch, it's ineffective. Because if you know that, he's going to throw you a fastball, which is, that's my contention with Mariano Rivera, and he's been so good over the years striking guys out, is because the fastball's coming, but it moves. So where it originally was suspected to go, where you thought it was going to go, doesn't always end up there. It rises a little bit, it tails a little bit, it'll sink a little bit, and all that'll throw you off, and that'll induce strikeouts or ground balls, even pop-ups. But Joel Zumaya, the same thing back when Nolan Ryan pitched. He was busting 100 miles an hour too. A lot of times Nolan's fastball was just really straight.
Okay.
And if you know what's coming, all you got to do is stick the bat out there.
Right. These pitchers that got the sinker ball pitchers, was that Bruce Sutter that always had that?
Yeah.
You just beat him in the ground all day?
Exactly. I mean, and again, you look back at these guys that played him, and you had Charlie Huff. I mean, the guy pitched until he was about ready to hit the nursing home. Tommy John before when he was pitching too. Not a lot of speed. Greg Maddux is another guy.
Yeah.
Change speeds, locate your pitches. You can pitch for, until you're in your 40s. Nolan Ryan did. He learned to adjust a little bit, but he still threw a lot of heat. Roger Clemens, I think, is kind of the exception because he's learned how to throw the splitter, and he's done it very effectively, so he can still pitch into his mid-40s and be very effective. But again, it comes down to your defense, so if you can induce a ground ball, someone's got to pick it up and throw it out. So, based on that, soft throwers, like I was telling you about the league I play in, soft throwers sometimes are very effective because you're too busy trying to really crush it because it's coming so slow. And you take away, your swing goes away, and your patience level goes away, and then what happens? You hit ground balls or you hit lazy fly balls. And so, a softer thrower, Tim Wakefield's another guy, throws a lot of knuckleballs. He's still in the major leagues because he's effective enough to mix up his pitches to keep you off balance. You just can't get away with throwing a fastball all the time. That's another thing that we talk about, too, is like we sit around and watch football games, and people are like, why aren't they throwing the bomb? Run the fly pattern.
Right.
Well, that doesn't always work. Because if it was so effective, then it would work every time. But it's ineffective because it's such a low percentage, and teams can defense that so easily. So, same thing in baseball. If you're throwing a fastball, people are probably going to hit it eventually. So you got to mix in your pitches and change speeds and locate your fastballs and any other pitch you're going to throw. That'll throw people off.
Right. Speaking of Clemens, they're always on the hitters about the steroid controversy. Don't you think the pitchers are involved in that too? Now, I'm not saying Roger Clemens is, but he's another big boy. It's two-way street here in baseball. It's not just the hitters. What about the pitchers?
Oh, definitely. Jason Grimsley, he was a pitcher with the Arizona Diamondbacks who basically retired because of the controversy. But, the steroid controversy it's twofold.
Yeah.
What do steroids do for you? Well, one, they make you gain muscle in a faster, time frame than you would normally. And a lot of times steroids will beat genetics. If you have poor genetics, you shoot enough steroids, you'll gain a lot of muscle. Well, the other thing steroids do is they help you recover. They help you recover quicker. And a lot of doctors, when even in this day and age, like you and I might have, a horrible sickness or have some, they might give us some steroids because that's going to help us heal quicker. So the rebound effect is a much better. So if you pitch today, you jack some steroids, you could probably pitch, on Sunday. So it's a recovery thing. It's good for pitchers.
Yeah, it's good for everybody. So yeah, that's it. They're always focusing on the batters, but it's got to be a two-way street on that. And
are you hitting the ball farther? Sure. Are you throwing the ball harder? Sure. Now is that just a series of evolution, or is that a series of drugs? It's always going to be a question.
Right.
But I will say the proof is in the pudding. When Marion Jones was finishing first, and the steroid controversy came out, she started finishing dead last. So you got to ask yourself, what's really going on.
Well, what about our boy Bonds? He's still doing it, though.
Who's that?
Barry Bonds.
I'm not familiar with that name.
Well, I think Alex Rodriguez is going to save us from that someday.
I would hope so, but again, I saw Alex Rodriguez play up in Appleton when they were the Foxes. He was about 17, 18 years old. He was a skinny little ball player.
Right.
You probably could have broke him in half if you'd have blown on him too hard. And look at him now. You never really know, and that's what I'm saying. I even look at kids today. Kids today aren't even taking steroids, but you go watch a high school football game and you got kids that are 6'6", 310. Okay, what is it? It's in the food chain. Our food chain contains, chemicals and bioengineering and stuff. So I think that plays a part in it too. How kids and just people in general grow. But then there's also the drug controversy that you always have to worry about too. So we'll see where it goes.
Could it also be a matter of weight training nowadays? Because, you do look back at our 82 Brewers, man, Ben Ogilvie and Robin Yount, and they were so small looking, but I know Rockin' Robin turned around when he started lifting weights.
Oh, sure. And there used to be a taboo against lifting weights way back in the day. I mean, ball players used to come to the park and they used to be like, I don't lift during the season because it makes me tight, or it's going to ruin my swing or ruin my velocity, my throw, whatever. And now it's like every sport evolves. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. There's plyometrics. There's people that do yoga. Barry Z goes into that. He does yoga to keep his body loose and limber, but yet you lift weights, and they do it in the off season. I mean, the same thing with football. I mean, we lift weights as football players 12 months a year.
Yeah.
Never a downtime because you got to stay on the edge.
Well, Big Cat, it's 7:58 right now. We're almost out of time. Thanks for coming on today.
Oh, it's not a problem, Tommy. I always enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, buddy. Well, we'll talk real soon, and have a great weekend, and hit some balls out of the park for me, buddy.
Hey, there you go.
All right, buddy. Thanks, man.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you later, Tommy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're listening to WSUM 91.7 FM. Packers Rivals. The Bears Still Suck is my show here. We're on from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tomorrow, Johnny Shivers has also got a sports talk show at 10 o'clock. Give Johnny a call, and we can talk some more sports. We only got a couple sports shows going down in SUM until, school will be coming back in September. And a lot of our students, a lot of our sports guys will be back in town. Talk a little more. We got a lot of great music here on WSUM. A lot of independent, alternative artists. Tune in anytime. Great station, a lot of nice people. And we're right down here on State Street. We're up to 64 degrees right now at 10 o'clock. So you listen to Packers Rivals again with Tom Garretts. Appreciate you listening. Have a great weekend. And we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Having a good time rocking the blues, listening to Humagoo.com with Tom Garretts, the best blues in Packerland. So let's rock the blues, let's have some fun, peace and love, see you out there.